Welcome to the football den. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today, man? We got a great show for you to get. We got a great show for you guys today. I got a great show for y'all. Nobody else ain't joining. It's me solo dolo, like always. But I got a great show for y'all today. We're gonna preview tonight's Thursday night football game on Amazon Prime, Amazon, whatever you call it. We got Seattle Seahawks traveling to Phoenix to face their rival, the NFC West rival, and the Arizona Cardinal and Kyler Murray. So we're gonna have that duel between Sam Darnold and Kyler Murray. That's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great game, man. It's gonna be a great game. We're gonna talk about that. Something I didn't talk about that happened, like I think a couple of days ago. Mike Gundy, head coach of Oklahoma. He's been head coach of Oklahoma since I was a kid in my single digits. We'll talk about him getting fired after serving 21 years for the organization. And we're also gonna talk about Jamar Chase. I know you might be thinking, why are we talking about Jamar Chase? Why just him? But I think Jamar Chase is due for one of his worst seasons of his career this year, based on what I saw. Based on what I saw against the Minnesota Vikings, his effort and how he was moving around during that game, he's due for a bad year. So we're gonna also talk about that, and I'm gonna deep dive why I feel that way. But y'all know I don't like to keep y'all waiting, so let's get right into it. First game, AFC West rivalry. We got the 2-1 Seattle Seahawks versus the 2-1 Arizona Cardinals. This is a big game and a must win for both of these teams. You know what I'm saying? You want to beat your rival. You want to beat somebody that's in your division, because both of these two teams, they're striving and they're thriving to win the AFC West this year, because the AFC West is wide open. But it's all four teams are legit. All four teams are legit. So one of these, out of these four teams, you got to include the Rams and the 49ers. One of these four teams will be the odd man looking out. They're going to be the odd man looking out. So at the end of the day, when you look at the 49ers with Kyle Shanahan, great offensive mind, Sean McVay, great offensive mind with the Rams, it's going to be a tough task for Arizona and Seattle to make the playoffs. But in the AFC West, they have a chance to have three teams make it and one team just being the odd man out. And it is what it is. When I look at this game, to me, the impact players and the X factors of this game, just the quarterbacks for both teams. Let's start off right there. The quarterbacks for both teams. Sam Darnold, he's been looking good. He's been looking good. You know what I'm saying? 30 points, back-to-back game, 30-plus points, back-to-back games, beat Pittsburgh, then whooped on the Saints. Sam Darnold's looking pretty good. Him and Jackson Enigma, their combination, that's going to get better and better within the year, through the year. When I'm looking at that defense with Witherspoon and Trayvon, I think they're going to be good. Middle linebackers with Leonard Williams leading the D-line, I think that they're going to be great. James Conner is out for Arizona. And I really do feel bad for Arizona, because he's a great piece for them. He's a great piece for them. James Conner is one of the most underrated running backs in this league. Pittsburgh misses him. And I bet you Pittsburgh regrets, and I don't say this all the time, but they regret letting him go, because he's still playing. Najee Harris, he's a starter in the league, and Najee Harris is a backup. Najee Harris out for the season with the Chargers. But they regret letting him go. They should have paid that man. But Arizona got him, and Arizona don't regret it. So Arizona appreciates Steelers for letting him go, because they got a stud. But he's out for the season. So this is going to be about Benjamin and their running back group, and their running back room. They have to do what it do. They got to play up to the standard. They have to be great this game. They have to be great this game, because they're going to need it. They're going to need it, because Kyler Murray is going to deal with two good cornerbacks in this game. He's going to be dealing with two good cornerbacks in this game. So the running game has to get going if you're on the Arizona side. When you look at Arizona's defense, Budda Baker, come on, bro. That's all you got to say. Just say his name. You know, that boy a dog. Budda Baker. Trey McBride, tight end. He's going to be a tough matchup for the Seattle Seahawks and their linebackers. So the Seattle Seahawks and their linebackers, they're in for a rude awakening. And you must account for Trey McBride, because he will tear you up in the inside, bro. Inside the numbers, he will destroy you. And they're going to have to try to keep him out the end zone. The main reason why I think the quarterbacks are the two most important positions in this game, because I like Kyler Murray, but he has a lot to prove, bro. Besides his first 3 years, what has he done? He's underachieved his last 3 years. His first 3 years was great. Last 3 years, you can make an argument he's underachieved. I think if you look at that last year Arizona team, the Arizona team should have made the playoffs, in my opinion. They were good enough to make the playoffs. They're a good enough team to make the playoffs every year. They're not bad, bro. Now they have moments. They had some bad losses. I think the Cardinals, and they lose the Panthers. That was a bad loss, which got them eliminated from the playoffs. But overall, they're a good team. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of pressure on Kyler Murray, a lot of pressure on Sam Darnold. They let you go for Geno Smith. Geno Smith last year, they went 10-7. So they expect you to be 10 wins or more. So it's pressure on both quarterbacks to make something do. And if they don't, this offseason is going to be a lot of noise. And I know Sam Darnold, this is his first year, but that doesn't matter. You got paid. You're a veteran. Make the plays and win the games. Kyler Murray, we don't care. Make the plays, win the game. There's more pressure on Kyler Murray, in my opinion, than Sam Darnold, because Sam Darnold, even though, like I said, they traded him for Geno Smith, so they expect him to have 10-plus wins or more. Kyler Murray been there. Come on, bro. Arizona hasn't seen the playoffs since 2021. 2022, 2023, 2024. Arizona ain't been in the playoffs in 3 years. They haven't smelt the playoffs in 3 years. And a lot of that has to do with Kyler Murray, him being inconsistent through the season playing quarterback. And if he's consistent, they'll be good. Now, he also needs Marvin Harrison Jr. to come to the party, because you look at his last couple of games, he hasn't done that. He's been underwhelming. I'm not calling him no bust. I'm not doing all that. I'm not going to call him a bust. But he's not looking like the top 3 player in the NFL draft that he was coming into the draft. So I can't, you got to, come on, bro. You got drafted top 4, you know what I'm saying? You a top 5 pick. You got to play like a top 5 pick. Because right now, even though the Giants are not that good, and even though the Jaguars are mid, Brian Thomas Jr. look better than you, and Malik Neighbors look better than you. And some people, I remember going into that draft in 2024, some people thought Malik Neighbors should have been picked ahead of you. So it's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? So to me, Marvin Harrison Jr. has to play up the standard. Is there a lot of pressure on him? Hell yeah. Because after you drop 2 touchdowns, after you drop a touchdown and nigga dropped, when he dropped like a 30-yard, he dropped a pass that could have went for a touchdown. You dropped a pass that could have went for a touchdown, and you dropped the pass in the end zone that could have been a touchdown. And once you do that, bro, you got to come into this next game on fire, bro, and dominate. So I expect a lot from Marvin Harrison this game. He needs to dominate this game. Now, based on how the game flows, if they don't need that from him, then cool. But every pass that's thrown his way, he needs to catch it and take advantage of opportunities and get us some yak yards. Now, when it comes to Seattle, Jackson Enigma Smith, I ain't got no issues with him. I know he's going to dominate, but he just need to be consistent. Show that you are a top 10. You are potentially people can look at you as a top 10 wide receiver. DK gone. Tyler Lockett gone. You're the face of the wide receiver group. You're the face. So you have to, come on, exceed expectations. And to me, he has done that. Because Seattle, in my opinion, Seattle wouldn't have been comfortable letting Tyler Lockett or DK go if they didn't feel like Jackson Enigma Smith could be that guy. And I think he can be that guy. So he needs to go out there, he needs to dominate and just stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I have to do with Sam Darnold. But like I say, any ball that comes your way, you need to catch it, get some yak yard, take advantage of every opportunity that comes to you. And we're going to see. I think Jackson Enigma Smith will have a great game. I think Marvin Harrison Jr., he's going to bounce back from that bad game against the 49ers, which they should have won that game, be 3-0. He's going to bounce back and have a great game too. So that's my only issue. Those are not my issue, but those are my key factors, my X factors of this tonight's game. I think it's going to be a good game. AFC West games, especially usually on Thursday, are great. It's probably going to be a game, I'll say it's going to be a 20s. Both teams going to score in the 20s. It's probably going to come down to the last possession. Whoever gets the ball last, the game is going to be in their hands. And whoever take advantage of it, they're going to win the game. Now, if you're asking me, Daniel, who you think is going to win the game? To be honest with y'all, going with my gut, I want Seattle to win, but I think Arizona's going to win. I like Arizona's defense. I do. I like Arizona's defense. I do. Don't get me wrong. I like Seattle's defense too. Seattle has their defense is good too. They're dominant when it comes to stopping the run. They can stop the run. They can dominate you in the trenches. But I like the secondary for Arizona. And I think when I look at Buda Baker and those young Bulls, they're going to be ready to play. I know Buda's going to be all over the field. And I expect Kyler Murray to get the job done, lead the team down, 21-21. You know what I'm saying? 2-minute warning, 2 minutes left on the clock. Kyler Murray gets down there, set his team up for field goal. Kicker makes the game-winning field goal. Arizona's 3-1. Seattle, who I feel like will bounce back from losing tonight because they are a good team. I just think tonight's going to be Arizona's night. I could be wrong, but I'm going to go with Arizona. I think Kyler Murray should be ready. I think he's going to be good. I think Marvin Harrison's going to bounce back. I think the defense is going to have a great game, bouncing back, going against the 49ers. And that's my thoughts on that game. So, like I said, tell me who y'all got. Comment it. Once I post this, comment, let me know. You got Arizona, you got Seattle. I'm going with Arizona at home. I think they should win this game. Not easily, but like I said, I think the final score will be 24-21. Arizona. Kyler Murray lead the team down, game-winning field goal. Let me know. Let's get on to the next. So one of, I'll say a great coach. We have lost one of the greatest. We lost a great coach. You know, Mike Gundy has been officially fired from Oklahoma State. They fired him after losing to Tulsa at home, which you cannot do, especially a bottom 5 team. You can't lose to Tulsa, a bottom 5 team at home. You know what I'm saying? When you do that, come on, bro. Like, your fans lose faith. Your team lose faith. I think everybody's lost faith in Mike Gundy. And I just think that's why you're seeing Oklahoma do it now, because they've lost faith in him. They don't believe that he could be the coach that guides them to success after losing to Tulsa at home. They got spanked. Bro. Tulsa looked like the better team from the first to the fourth quarter, all through the game. And I just think you look at Mike Gundy, some of his comments that he done made. I'm not gonna say I feel like he's given up on himself and the team. I just feel like Oklahoma's always a good team. You're used to them winning at least 8 to 10 games a season. And then you look at the last 2 years. Nah, I'm not gonna say that because the year before with Ollie Gordon, they made it to the Big 12 championship. But if you just look at 2024 and just a couple of games in this season, I just don't see that aggression or the Oklahoma teams I'm used to seeing since growing up as a kid, when they had Dez, when they had Blackman, when they had some of those other guys. I just don't see it. And I think the organization, I think the fans and the team, I think there's all faith in Mike Gundy as a head coach. So you have to go your separate way. I think it is the right call. Now, I wouldn't have done it during the middle of the season, but you can't tell the team when the team is ready to get rid of you, they're ready to get rid of you. And that's what happened. They're just done with Mike Gundy. I wish him the best, but I think he'll probably retire. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. Like I said, he was a great coach. He took Oklahoma. They won a lot with him. He used to be the quarterback for Oklahoma, passing that ball off to Thurman and that boy Barry Sanders. He was the quarterback for Oklahoma, and Barry Sanders won Heisman. So shout out to that. But I just, I don't know how to feel about this, man, because I'm a huge Mike Gundy fan. You know what I'm saying? Oklahoma State, as growing up as a kid, I used to love playing them on the game. I love watching them as a team, just their uniforms, the Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? But I just feel like the fans, they don't want him as the head coach. The organization, they obviously don't, because they just released him. They fired him. But I feel like this, after 21 years, we're never going to see it. To me, he's one of the one few coaches that we're going to see coach a team for 15 to 20 plus years. I think that era is done, because a lot of these, they're not, a lot of these organizations, a lot of the front, not gonna say a lot of the athletic department of a lot of these teams now, a lot of these colleges, they don't have the patience no more, bro. They just don't have the patience. They want to see instant success. You might get a year or two, but they want to see instant success. And once you go from a Big 12 championship, all these new teams coming in 2024, people thinking Oklahoma gonna win it. I thought Oklahoma was gonna win the Big 12 last year. And for them to go from losing the Big 12, getting there in 2023, to not even sniffing it, going 4-8, come on, bro. That's a huge disappointment. That's a disappointing season. And now, looking at them now, they're going 1-2. potentially it would have been probably 4-8 again or worse, 3-9. So I just think the higher ups at Oklahoma State, the athletic department, they're probably just like, nah, we're good. We're good. We're good. Let's go our separate way. The season's probably, we're going to have a bad season. We already know that. But let's now, once we release him, now let's go find our new guy for 2026. Let's go find our new guy for 2026. They're going to be terrible this year. But they're going to help a lot of teams, though, get a W on their schedule. So that's the good thing about it for other teams. But if you're an Oklahoma State fan, it's going to be a long year for you. It's going to be a long year for you. And I feel bad for you, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, Oklahoma's not good. They're not good. Period, point blank. They weren't good last year. They're not good this year. And I just feel like the aggression and the passion that Mike Gundy brings to his Oklahoma State teams that helps them win those big games and play great in big moments, I think he's lost it. I think the energy is gone. That energy that he used to bring, I think it's over with and it's gone. And you can just tell based on how they play. Those guys don't care out there, man. They don't. They don't. They do. Mentally, physically, they do. But just watching as a fan, I can't tell, bro. When you lose to Tulsa, bro, it's time to wrap it up. It's time to wrap it up. I remember Herm Edwards lost to Georgia Southern. And you can tell on the field after that game, he knew he was finna get fired, being with Arizona State. And losing to Tulsa, a team that I think they haven't lost to in like 50 years, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a long time. And for you to be that coach that's been there for 20 years, for you to take that L, it's time to wrap it up. And it's time to go home. So he sent them on his way. Like I say, the bad thing about it, it's going to be a long, bad season for Oklahoma State. But the good thing about it is you get an early start on finding out who's going to be your next head coach to prepare you for the 2026 season. So that's the good thing about it. Like I said, if you're an Oklahoma State fan, I feel bad for you. But at the end of the day, the future's bright because you don't have nobody, so you don't know. But hopefully they bring in an offensive mind or a new coach that can come in and change the culture and bring back Oklahoma to their winning culture. Mike Gundy was there in the 2010s. They was winning all the time, winning good games, winning close games, and battling against the Oklahomas and the Texas teams. But we'll see. So it is what it is. Last topic of the day. Ja'Marr Chase. Now, Mr. Triple Crown himself, I like Ja'Marr Chase's game. I just like Ja'Marr Chase's game, bro. He's a dog. No matter where you put him, he'll route you up. Yak, he can do it all. He can beat you deep. He can catch a 5-yard in, 5-yard out route, and take that thing aided. It don't matter where he catches the ball, he can score anywhere on the field. But all that being said, this is probably going to be his worst season of his career. Statistic, stat-wise. And the reason why I say that, bro, because he don't have Joe Burrow. Jake Browning don't look like he's going to be the guy for long term if he don't get his stuff together. And watching Ja'Marr Chase, watching his body language, bro, he's miserable. And if the Bengals don't play good as a team and they don't get him involved, he's going to be a diva through the whole season. And even though I don't like divas, it's inevitable because when you just come off a Triple Crown, All Pro first team, you might not even make a Pro Bowl this year. If they don't force feed him the ball, he's not going to make a Pro Bowl this year, bro. He's going to barely have 1,000 yards. And I do feel bad for Ja'Marr Chase, but I want him to be a little patient, but I don't see that happening. When you're so used to dominating, getting the ball in your hands, and now the quarterback can't even get you the ball, it's going to be a tough season for you. Justin Jefferson, you see him, he's struggling a little bit. But he's not getting frustrated, but he's struggling. It's not because of him, it's because of the quarterback play. Ja'Marr Chase, it's not because of him that he's struggling, that he's going to have a bad season. But if you don't have a competent quarterback that can throw you the ball and get you open and make sure that he makes sure that you get the ball, you're not gonna win nothing. You're not gonna win nothing. Period, point blank. Jake Browning is not the guy. Like I told y'all last pod, I will bring in Jameis Winston. Even though Jameis is gonna throw a lot of picks, he's gonna give Ja'Marr Chase that ball. Ja'Marr Chase gonna catch about 5 to 8 passes a game with a Jameis Winston. He could do it with Jake Browning, but I don't see it with Jake, bro. I just don't. A couple of years ago, The connection, it wasn't the Joe Burrow Chase connection, but the Browning Chase connection, it was good. He was giving Jamar the ball, and Jamar was taking advantage of opportunities. I don't see him giving Jamar the ball once you're throwing 2 picks. You're throwing picks, threw a pick six, I think he threw another pick six. People fumbling, Jamar fumbled. I feel like that fumble, after he caught that ball, that fumble, that probably messed up his confidence during that game. And like I say, he's going to be a diva. I don't know which week, but if the Bengals get beat every week like they did against the Minnesota Vikings, trust me, I wouldn't be surprised if the camera panned to the sideline of Cincinnati Bengals and we see Jamar Chase, Zach Taylor, or Jamar Chase and Jake Browning get into an argument, or Jamar just throwing a big-ass tantrum on the sideline. I wouldn't be surprised by it. Once again, I'm a big fan of them, but we just got to be real. A lot of these great wide receivers, they're divas, and they're used to getting the ball. But when you're going every week, when you're used to last year, you're catching 8 to 10 passes. Now you're barely getting 3 to 4. You're going to explode. First, it's going to be internally. You're going to try to hold it in, but you're going to feel some type of way. And you can tell based on your body language. Then it's going to explode. It's going to come out, and everybody's going to see it. Now, I think that's inevitable. That's going to happen. And depending on how strong that locker room is, it's going to make or break the team. He's one of your best players. And you need him to stay focused and keep his mind right. And if he can't do that because you're not giving him the ball, mainly because the quarterback can't give him the ball, he's going to explode. He's going to explode. And that's just based on the history of all these receivers that's used to just being dominant and being great every year. Nobody wants to go from Triple Crown to barely even catching 5 passes a game, and probably, based on the stats, probably won't even touch 1,000 yards. Don't even touch 1,000 yards. My boy had over 1,500 receiving yards last year. He might not even touch 1,000 based on the play of the quarterback. So Cincinnati, the pressure's on them to find somebody to come in to be that quarterback that can give him the ball, or making sure Jake Browning's prepared for this week coming up, and he looks way better than he did against the Minnesota Vikings. Because I believe Jake Browning is a competent quarterback enough to, even though Joe's out, he could be that guy that still leads the guys, be a competent quarterback, make the plays, and you can still win a couple of games. Cincinnati's not making the playoffs this year. That's dead. That's over with. They're not making the playoffs this year. I'll be shocked if they made the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? The NFC North, the AFC North is for Bengals. No, the NFC North is for the Ravens and Pittsburgh to win. And the Browns. Because the Browns are 1 and 2. They're not done yet. We don't know how they're going to pan out. It's like the season's still early. But it's for the Browns, the Ravens, and Steelers to win. I'll be shocked with Cincinnati. If Jake Browning come out of nowhere and go on a 5-game winning streak, and Jamar Chase is catching about 6 to 10 passes a game and having almost 90 to 100 receiving yards and a touchdown a game, I'll be shocked. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I can see Jamar doing that. I can't see him doing that while they're winning and with Jake Browning as the quarterback. I just don't see that. I can see him doing that with another quarterback while they're still losing games, close games, and that's it. Because we know wide receivers, bro. Yeah, they can lose, but if they still put up their stats, they're going to be disappointed they lost, but they still like, shit, I still have my 100. I ain't the problem. Because we know how wide receivers are. They got that little diva in them. It's a little diva in them, you know what I'm saying? Because they really want to win, but sometimes they don't know how to express it. They express it in the wrong way. And sometimes they could look, to me, selfish. Because when you get like angry like that, sometimes you stand your teammates up and you say stuff that can really affect the locker room. So like I said, I appreciate Jamar Chase. He's one of the best plays, very entertaining. I love watching his game. But he's in for a rude awakening this season, y'all. And this probably going to be one of his worst seasons of his career. It is. Now, can he get out that slump? Yes, he can. I just don't think he can do it with Jake Browning. I hope Jake Browning gets to get it together so we can see Jamar Chase score some touchdown, hit that gritty. But for right now, I just don't see it. And looking at the team, this is a lost season for them. Because Joe Burrow's not coming back. He's not. Out for 3 months, that's the majority of the season. Unless they have a winning record or they're in the playoff, they're in the hunt to make the playoffs, I'll be surprised if I see Joe Burrow come back and he wear another Bengals uniform again. He was a Bengals uniform this season. But you just paying Jamar 40 and you just paid T. Higgins all that money. then it's going to be a disappointing season for both players. But mostly it's going to be a disappointing season for Jamar Chase based on what he did last year, bro. Because I feel like he was due for another 1,500 yards. I don't think he was going to do Triple Crown again, but with him and Joe Burrow, he was due for another 15-yard season. And so this season, I predict that he probably don't even touch 1,000. Probably like 900, 800. Probably like a touchdown or two. I'll say about 5 to 6 touchdowns. Probably like 60 to 80 catches. He's due for a down year. He'll probably bounce back in 2026, but he's due for a down year. So that's my thoughts on today's show. Thank y'all for watching the Football Den. I appreciate everybody that watched the show. I appreciate all of y'all that watch our clips, watch my clips. I appreciate all y'all that comment under the YouTube channel, that subscribe to the channel. We got 13 subs, man. Let's help get this channel to at least 50. Let's get to 50 because we're on the road to 100. So while we're on the road to 100, let's get to 50. Let's meet these milestones. We're at 13 right now. I predict that we will get to 50, and I feel like we'll have 100 by the end of the year. So by the end of the year, they get to 100. We might have more. But that's on me, too, putting out this content and giving y'all more content and just keep talking. Because if I don't give out content, what are you going to watch? The same videos? No, I can't do y'all like that. Y'all deserve more. Y'all deserve consistency, and I'm going to give y'all that. So I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I appreciate y'all for watching the Be Like That podcast. I appreciate y'all for watching the Football Den. Later on today, we will be on the Be Like That podcast, talking about what happened in Tennessee State. I'm going to give y'all my thoughts on that. But that concludes this show. Y'all enjoy Thursday Night Football. I feel like this will be a great game between Sam and Kyler Murray. I'm going to be watching it. I will give y'all my thoughts tomorrow to recap it, what happened. And we out. It's the Football Den.